Do you find yourself scrolling past all of these influencers with their amazing before and after photos, wondering why you can't even lose a freaking pound on your 1200 calorie diet? What if I told you that the average woman burns 500 fewer calories per day at 45 than she did at 25? Not because her metabolism magically shut down after 40, but because she's been following diet advice that literally destroyed her body's ability to burn fat. And I know this because I spent 30 years trapped in this exact cycle before losing 50 pounds and keeping it off for 3 years by doing the complete opposite of what all of these other diet gurus keeps telling you to do. Here's the shocking truth: most fitness influencers don't even understand themselves. The reason you can't lose weight with a low-calorie diet isn't because you're still eating too much. It's because you have spent years not eating enough. You've probably tried every diet trend, got the scale to drop for a few weeks, and then watched in horror as every pound came right back, plus another 10 or 20. Maybe you even started avoiding social events because nothing in your closet fits. But here's what none of those guys with a million plus followers will tell you. Following all of these extreme diets trained your body to survive on starvation rations while storing every little mistake you make as fat. If you're a busy woman over 40 who is tired of starving yourself only to watch the scale creep right back up, this video will change everything you think you know about fat loss. I went from starving myself on 1200 calorie diets to losing 50 pounds while eating 2000 calories. And unlike those starvation diets, now that I've made it to my goal, I can actually eat like a normal adult without regaining every pound. Because these days, I maintain my 50-pound weight loss while eating 2400 calories a day. So in this video, I'll show you the exact 4-step process that allowed me to eat more food while losing more fat. And make sure you stick around, since I'll show you the one step that most women skip that keeps them trapped in yo-yo diets forever. But if you're still convinced that you have to starve yourself in order to get results, you will just stay stuck in the same cycle that has been failing you for years. The first step in my eat more to lose more process might sound familiar, but most women get this completely wrong. You think move more means spending an hour every day on intense cardio that leaves you exhausted and ravenously hungry. But what if I told you that strategy is only making things worse? Because it absolutely is. Here's what's really happening. Not only does your body adapt to all of that intense exercise, which means you'll have to keep going harder and longer to keep up with your calorie burn, but it's also leading you to overeat while becoming sedentary the other 23 hours, since who wants to move off the couch after running yourself into the ground? On the other hand, the woman who finds 20 minutes here and there for a few brisk walks throughout the day, she's setting herself up to eat hundreds more calories than the woman who is chained to the elliptical. Here's how. The move more part of the fat loss equation isn't about burning as many calories as you can with one daily bout of cardio. It's about moving more throughout the entire day to keep your metabolism running all day long. More moderate activity done consistently, like working up to 7,000 to 10,000 steps most days by doing things like walking during your kids' soccer practice, or parking further away instead of always fighting for the closest spot. Staying active like that burns an extra 300 to 400 calories a day just living your life. But that's not the only benefit. This also helps with natural appetite suppression, balanced stress hormones, and it keeps your metabolism running efficiently all day long. All of these things make it about 1,000,000,000 times easier to stick to your moderate calorie deficit. And here's the math that will completely blow your mind. When you compare that to someone who remains sedentary while forcing weight loss with another low-calorie diet, here's how the numbers break down. Let's say you're a 46-year-old woman who's 5'7" and 150 pounds. If you want to lose 1 pound a week with a sedentary lifestyle, you'll have to eat 1,061 calories each day. But does 1,000 calories sound anywhere close to what a grown adult should be eating? But if you commit to moving more, even just 45 minutes of brisk walking most days, suddenly you can eat 1,536 calories while losing around 1 pound of fat each week, which still isn't a ton of food, but it is way better than starving yourself with less than what a 30-pound toddler eats. But if you just add more activity and do nothing else to build your metabolism, you will have to continue dropping calories even lower as you lose weight, unless you commit to this next crucial step that most women completely ignore. Because moving more is only half the equation, especially since there's something happening to your body after 40 that's quietly sabotaging every diet you try. You're losing the one thing that is keeping your metabolism strong. And most women have no idea it's even happening until it's too late. Here's what's really scary. Every decade after 30, you naturally lose 3 to 8% of your muscle mass. Add in the muscle loss from your low-calorie diet, and you're basically handing your metabolism a one-way ticket to Turtletown. And while your only focus is that number on the scale, your body is literally working against you every day that you do nothing to stop it. Here's why this matters so much. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. So for every 10 pounds of muscle you gain, you burn an extra 60 to 70 calories per day just existing, which doesn't really sound like a lot. But when you add that up over the course of a year, that's 6 pounds of fat you can lose without any extra activity or cutting calories any lower. Or it's 6 pounds of fat that you'll automatically gain year after year if you keep following all of these popular diets that lead to more muscle loss. But don't think that you have to become the next Arnold in order to get these benefits. Even just 15 minutes a day of focused strength training or 2 full body workouts per week, that's enough to maintain and even build more of the muscle that keeps your metabolism strong. When I began prioritizing building muscle over desperately hoping for big scale drops, that's when fat loss finally got easy. Not only could I eat more, which I love, but my body actually looks better at a higher weight with more muscle than it did 10 pounds lighter with no muscle. And this time, I don't have to worry about rapidly regaining every pound. But you'll never gain all of that metabolic boosting muscle if you don't quit fearing this next step. And this one goes against everything you've been taught. It's also the step most women struggle with the most because you think that there's no way that this can work. After years of having it drilled into your head that you need to eat less if you want to lose weight, this isn't actually the case for most women. This is especially true if you've spent years cycling through low-calorie diets. Because now that you've committed to becoming more active, you have to give your body enough food to fuel this higher activity level. And I know exactly what your little diet-obsessed brain is thinking. If I eat more, won't I just gain weight? And I get it, because I thought the same way for 30 years. But here's what I finally figured out that changed everything I thought I knew about fat loss. Whenever you force yourself into 12 or even 1500 calorie diets while simultaneously ramping up activity, even though this starts out as a plan where you lose weight fast, your body quickly adapts, meaning this won't be a plan that works for long. Here's the brutal truth. Your body's survival instincts strongly disagree with your new strategy. So it throws on the brakes and slows your metabolism to a grinding halt. Because your metabolism isn't some static number that never changes. It adapts to the lifestyle you choose. So when you choose another starvation diet in order to lose weight fast, now your body adapts to starvation levels just to maintain your weight. But when you strategically increase your calories to match your new activity level, eating in a moderate deficit instead of an extreme one, something magical happens. Your metabolism wakes back up. Instead of your body fighting you every step of the way with cravings, fatigue, and plateaus, it finally has the energy to let go of fat. You stop binge eating on weekends because you're not depriving yourself all week. And your workouts actually feel good instead of every step feeling like torturous death. For me, this meant going from 12 or 1300 calories where I was gaining weight to eating 2000 calories in order to lose fat on a consistent basis. I eat more food and get way better results because I finally learned how to work with my body instead of always fighting against it. But eating more to fuel your activity isn't just about eating more of everything that you feel like shoveling in. Because if you're not eating more of the right foods, then you will stay stuck. And this brings me to the final step that ties everything together. The truth is, most women only get about a third of what they need from this specific macro for this plan to work. And if you're not prioritizing protein with every meal, you're missing out on the secret weapon that makes eating more while losing more possible. I see women all the time who are doing steps 1, 2, and 3 perfectly. but they're still struggling because they're missing this final piece. Here's what makes this such a powerful component of your fat loss plan. First, protein has the highest thermic effect of any macro. That means you burn 20 to 30% of the calories you eat from protein just by digesting it. So if you eat 150 grams of protein, you're automatically burning 120 to 180 calories just from digestion. But that's not all, because sufficient protein is required to build and maintain that metabolism boosting muscle that we talked about. Without getting enough protein, and I'm talking 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your target body weight, all of that strength training won't help you build any muscle. And here's the part that makes the biggest difference for busy women. Protein keeps you more satisfied in a moderate calorie deficit. Once you're finally eating enough protein, you're not constantly thinking about food or always fighting cravings. You can actually stick to your plan without white-knuckling your way through every single day. When I bumped my protein to 150 grams per day, that's when everything clicked. I had energy for my workouts, I wasn't hungry all the time, and fat loss was finally consistent. Remember at the beginning when I talked about how you've been trapped in the cycle of eating less and less while your metabolism keeps getting slower and slower? Here's how these 4 steps solve that problem. You move more throughout the day, which allows you to eat more calories. You build muscle, which burns more calories even at rest. You eat enough to fuel your new active lifestyle, which keeps your metabolism running strong. And you prioritize protein, which helps you build that muscle even while staying satisfied. The result? You can finally eat like a normal adult while losing fat and keeping it off. I know this approach isn't as exciting as promising that you'll lose 20 pounds by next month. But what happens to all of that excitement when you start regaining every pound? Because your quick fix drove your metabolism into the ground. The woman who commits to this eat more to lose more approach doesn't just lose weight. She transforms her entire relationship with food and exercise. And she finally builds a body that works with her instead of against her. So here's my question. Are you ready to stop starving yourself and instead start building the metabolism that you deserve? Or will you keep falling into the same lies that have kept you stuck for years? Let me know in the comments which of these 4 steps you're ready to tackle first. And if you want to see how to calculate your exact calorie deficit and activity level for real results, watch this video next. I show you step by step how to eat more while losing weight, because now's the time to stop destroying your metabolism and start building it up.